Islam, Minister for the Interior, I do have a series of questions for you.
Yes, sir.
I have done my my duty, obligation, and responsibility under Article 6, Section 2, Clause 1 of the Amexem-Moor-Empire Constitution. I have in fact presented the fiscal budget before you and your colleagues. You have some of your staff here from your 7 sub-departments. Have you spoken with them to give them some insight as to how you intend to fight for things that have been asked for them to do the job that you have for them to do? Have you given them some insight? Have they asked you any questions? Is there anything that you need to ask me based on what their concerns are?
Well, at this time, we're still in our pre-negotiation. So what I really need to do is basically sit down with each one of my staff members and go over what is basically in the line items and see if it's sufficient for them to carry out their duty.
Anything example?
For instance, good brother here, distinguished noble Yson. The system, of course, the system that will be gathering his information from his weather units. Excuse me 1 second. You have a lot of line items here.
Yeah.
Right. It says for the server that's going to be gathering all information and storing all information. You're going to have, it's 8 servers. I see additional blades not available.
I have no idea how much data he's going to be crunching, and so I couldn't put down a particular number of blades for the server because I have no idea how much you're going to need in terms of operational space.
Well, it says here, brother, that you have 8 laptops. Does that number sound good for you so far?
Yes.
Well, I asked for 8 for one for each city.
Right, and for each station.
Yes.
Yeah, but basically, we're gonna have to sit down and go through all our line items just to make sure that everything is basically up to par. And if not, then we'll have to see where we can ask that we can have additional funds available for whatever we need.
Well, this is where the department reports that you get from your sub-department heads, this is where all this comes into play now. So when you go to do your negotiation with your colleagues,
right?
Because you have to explain, you're the one that has to do the negotiating on their behalf. So when they come with their counter arguments, why do you want this and why do you want that? There's a finite amount of funds to work with, and my department needs this, my sub-department needs that. So when they start stacking up on you, you've been through this before, you know how this works. So
yes.
You got to be able to make your arguments and counter arguments strong. So I just thought I would ask you, have you discussed particular things with your staff? Because you know that when we convene at the next council meeting for budget negotiations, you know it's going to be on and popping than that one. The first one, everyone's all cordial, and you know how that works. But the next time, it's going to be sleeves is rolled up, and the nose is going to get bloody.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, basically, I'm going to be speaking to the director for admissions and op director for admissions to see how many amalgamations we had this year. Plus, we're supposed to be going on the ground in some new locations. And with that, and the amount of flyers distributed, and
basic info
packs and that kind of stuff. So I should have a good idea after, probably after tomorrow's briefing about that. So,
well, you don't have a lot of time for the next.
Yes, I know.
And you realize that every one of those reports that have come out during the past year, all your colleagues have seen them.
Yes.
And you know what you do, so you know what they're doing. Every one of the council members, they are territorial. That's what y'all do. You read the department reports from everybody else to see what they're going to be asking for and what their arguments are going to be, so you can counter what they're going to say. I know what y'all do. And I'm rapping you out.
Thank you. I try to stay away from saying that. But I know exactly what what it's going to be. Well, definitely.
Well, that's part of good governance, though.
Yes.
So that when negotiations are done, everybody gets to get their arguments in and make the sensible approaches made, and we'll see what's what. And then when y'all cast your votes, it's either going to be yay or nay.
Yeah,
I'm going to just reiterate again. I'm asking you and all of your colleagues to leave me out of it. I don't like getting into the fray with y'all. That's now when y'all get into them line items, it gets nasty. I don't want to be involved in all that, but y'all just make sure that whatever is negotiated, it will serve the best interests of the empire, so that all of our posterity will benefit from good governance.
absolutely.
And make sure that we're in a position to have enhanced or further strengthened diplomacy abilities, because we're going to need it once we get into the outer-lying areas, which is I'm happy to say we are rapidly moving towards those probabilities now finally becoming manifest.
Yes,
so it's going to be fun.
Definitely will be.
But it's going to be some serious work. So prepare your staff, because once that train leaves the station, it's going to be something. Well, thank you, Minister, for the excellent work that you do.
Thank you, Madam.
Keep your staff informed, and if you have any questions, make sure that your Minister, your department head is aware, because when we convene the next council meeting, he's the one that has to make sure that your concerns are presented appropriately, so he can argue them, counter-argue them appropriately, make sure you give him all the information. Because trust me, his colleagues, they want what they want, the same way he wants what he wants for all of you. We have a finite amount of funds to work with, so they're going to be in the trenches bargaining. There's going to be a whole lot of stuff that goes with it. So just keep them informed. With that, I do say peace and love, and thank you all for the wonderful work you do for all of our offspring. It's a beautiful job that we're all here doing, and I look forward to us continuing to do this job appropriately. So with that, I say peace and love, and Islam.
Islam.